Hello, leader. Today's episode is all about one of the hardest leadership skills to teach: pace. Here's what I mean by pace. How fast should we work? When should we push harder? And when should we pull back? Maybe you've noticed your team scrambling a lot at the last minute, or burned out after big pushes, or struggling to stay ahead of their work. You're not alone. Pace is one of the most common challenges I see leaders wrestle with. But here's the good news. Pace can be taught. And today, I'll show you how you can teach your team all about pace. Welcome to the Stacking Your Team podcast, smart leadership for women who mean business. I'm Shelli Warren, your team and leadership coach, and your no-fluff guide to building a powerhouse team that actually gets the job done without you holding their hand every 5 minutes. You're not just a business owner, you're the leader now, and I'll help you step up, lead smart, and stop micromanaging. Stick with me and you'll learn how to hire, fire, and inspire a team you lead with confidence, and finally get your night and weekends back. And here's the hard truth. The team that got you here may not be the team that gets you there. So let's trade burnout for bold leadership and stack your team. This episode is powered by the Leadership Lab, my high-touch small group coaching program for women running established businesses with a team of 5 or more. If you're tired of being pulled into every little thing and you want more time for strategy, creativity, maybe even opening up a second location, you don't have to do it alone. It's time to stop feeling so exhausted by trying to hold it all together. The Leadership Lab helps you step out of the daily operations, build a capable team, and lead boldly without burning out. If you're ready for more capacity, more confidence, and more time to do what really matters to you, apply today at stackingyourteam.com/leadershiplab. Okay, let's get into it. So why is pace so hard to teach your team? According to a Gallup research survey, in North America, over 50% of team members report feeling stressed out about deadlines every week, and nearly 40% say workload pressure is their top source for burnout. So why is this happening? Well, a lot of times, team members often don't understand how to pace themselves through a project timeline. And then we have leaders who underestimate key business seasons that require extra effort, such as year-end, a product launch, tax season, or even the holidays. And most leaders rarely plan in any intentional downtime or recovery periods, so the team stays in constant overdrive, which just leads to burnout. One of my former clients who owns a professional services firm where every tax season was chaotic, their life looked like this: late nights, missed meals, frazzled team members. Once they started planning both ramp-up weeks and wind-down weeks, morale and retention skyrocketed. People understood that there would be times when it was needed to be an all-hands-on-deck kind of vibe, but then there would be times where everyone could slow down, think, plan, and they even hosted some team celebration activities that re-energized everyone. So how do you know if your team is struggling with pace? Here's some signs. There's lots of last-minute rushes and unexpected firefighting happening. Your team energy spikes, followed by deep dips. They become almost lethargic, or there's a vibe where you believe people are just coasting. You have team members who say things like, "I didn't see that deadline coming." Or you've got team leaders who admit they haven't factored in seasonal cycles, thinking they've just figured out as it happens, or that they'd remember to do a better job of planning next year. One of my design agency clients, her team kept missing client deadlines until she realized that some of them had never been trained to reverse engineer the project. Once she mapped out milestones, the team learned to spread the workload out evenly. Their contractors and vendors immediately noticed the improvement, so those relationships were on better footing, and the team itself felt more confident about being on top of it all. They even created a process for those rinse and repeat type design jobs, complete with a digital system that kept them all on track and super organized. And this became the foundation for training for all of their new junior designers coming aboard. So, how do you teach PACE? Here are some strategies. Teach your team the value of learning how to reverse engineer a task, a project, or even a service delivery or product development. Reverse engineering planning. You start with the deadline or the intended outcome and work backwards to set weekly milestones that lead to completion and that big win. The next thing you can do is to teach your team the concept of energy mapping. Here's what I mean by that. Use examples of real work that your team can relate to. Show them how to think about where in the process and the calendar that they can anticipate high output weeks. Do the same for periods of time that will allow for a lighter workload afterwards. You can kick this up a notch by getting your team involved in deciding what activities can be done during those slower periods that the team could take advantage of. You can also get the team involved in sharing tips and hacks to help each other stay energized during those peak times where the pace requires them to step it up to the next level and then maintain it for a while. The third thing that you could do is help to motivate your team by highlighting deadlines and checkpoints. Now, some of my clients like to use a whiteboard for this, so it's easily updated and highly visible. Others use digital tools to do this, but you want to break projects down into smaller chunks so progress is visible and trackable. And then you want to make it normal to highlight key achievement moments throughout, not just when your team reaches the finish line. The fourth strategy to help you teach PACE to your team is you'll want to teach your team how to set and keep drum beats that will support them through the time where they really need to hustle. So think about how you can host weekly pulse checks to ensure the team is on pace, not just busy. And here's your chance to ask, what looks like help to you right now? It's also a great chance to think about hiring temporary help to support your team members, or even a few key roles that will free them up to focus more on the priority tasks. And lastly, teach your team about recovery planning. Here's how you can do this. After a big launch or seasonal push, schedule regroup days or half days to help everyone get their energy back. These recovery days are seen as a massive way for people to regain their enthusiasm and feel ready for how to leverage those downtimes during that slow period. People will begin to see how they can ride out the various ebbs and flows of the workplace and reset themselves for the next wave of high-paced work. And here's an idea. If you own a healthcare practice, you could leverage recovery planning to ensure your team gets a breather after peak flu season. As a result, you'd see your own sick leave stats go down the following quarter. So I have a question for you. What are you doing in your leadership role to model PACE? Here's a bit of a reality check. Leaders set the tone. If you're always frantic, your team is going to start mimicking that. You can model pacing yourself through busy times by using calm communication instead of adding to the chaos. So you want to set priorities and recognize recovery time as being very strategic for your well-being and the well-being of your team. You can also proactively talk about upcoming high-pressure seasons and what the team will do differently this time. A small business owner who used to demand constant hustle during peak wedding season realized she never gave her team a finish line. When she started celebrating the end of major sprints and deliberately signaled rest, turnover decreased dramatically, and people were generally more happy at work. Let's recap. PACE is hard to teach, but you can do it. Your role as a leader is to anticipate pressure points, coach your team on pacing strategies, and protect that recovery time. When you ignore PACE, you get team burnout, missed deadlines, and low morale. When you teach pace, you get consistency, resilience, and a team that stays ahead of their work. And you'll feel pretty darn fantastic too about setting your team up for success. And here's an idea. How about sharing this episode with your key team members who know exactly what it means to feel overwhelmed and burnt out at times? But don't just give them the episode to listen to. Host a working meeting where you can talk about how together you can teach the team about pace. Thanks for tuning in to the Stacking Your Team podcast, smart leadership for women who mean business. If today's episode helped you see your leadership in a new way, I'd love to hear about it. Come and connect with me on Instagram, where I'm at Stacking Your Team, and tell me what's troubling you about your team right now. And one last reminder that you can apply to join the Leadership Lab from the Stacking Your Team website. We're welcoming new members right now. It's time to stop getting pulled into daily operations and start leading at a higher level. Imagine breathing easier, trusting your team to deliver, and finally having more time for your highest valued work. I can't wait to meet you. And hey, if you're tuning into this podcast because you work somewhere and you want to develop your leadership skills, I invite you to start following our sister company, Thousand Islands Leadership Consulting. Check us out on Instagram and LinkedIn so you can chart your course to your next level of leadership.